Back to
Welcome to another live session at the Blunt Lab. Thank you for joining us, those that are joining us live. I am joined by my brothers Marcus and Rick. What is going on, fellas?
What up?
I had no idea that was going to be played. She no longer shares the music with me, so it's a surprise for us all every week. I did like the sad one better. I think I like the sad one better. That kind of started things off right. But Matt's not here with us, so we're not going to dive too much into the UFC. I know a week ago, Sean Strickland lost to the South African via unanimous decision. Yeah. Last night, I believe, was another event. I know Cannonier was the main event. He was also in the middleweight division. He won his fight. Congratulations to the victors. But there is one fight that I did watch. It was Friday night on ESPN, Top Rank Boxing. Undefeated fighter by the name of Keyshawn Davis. He came into this fight at 12-0. I've been watching him since the Olympics. He's a silver medalist in the Olympics, so I've kind of been watching him on the come up. As of a couple of years ago, I know he got with Bud Crawford's camp, which kind of upped his game even more because he was already good. Upped his game even more. He's been on a tear, I believe, in his 12 victories, 8 knockouts, if I'm not mistaken. He was in his first championship fight up against a Ukrainian. The Ukrainian's 37 years old. I can't really remember his name, don't really care to. He was also undefeated, 19-0. 4 knockouts, that kind of fighter. Also a silver medalist in the Olympics. Now, during fight week, most fighters, most guys do things to sell the fight, which I'm all for. If you're going to talk shit to one another, talk shit to one another. If you're going to insult one another, insult one another.
It's work, baby. That's promo.
Now, I know I've said on this show that Ukrainians are notoriously racist.
Well, they're bad sports in general, but yeah, they're very racist. To anyone not Ukrainian.
During this Ukrainian conflict, a lot of them have been displaced and, have sought refuge in other places and have been known to complain that these places are too brown for them. That type of racist. Now, during this week, Keyshawn Davis received a package, a basket of bananas with some insults attached to it. The guys who delivered said package tried to disguise themselves, but if you look at the security detail around the guy he was fighting, it came from his fucking camp.
Dark hair, dark eyes. No, not much hair.
So, of course, that infuriated Keyshawn Davis. Now, he was already motivated to whoop this dude's ass because, he's on the come up. He predicted a first-round knockout, which didn't happen. But the beatdown he put on this motherfucker, body shots alone, TKO 4th round. And, there was a beating that went along with it. But 2 well-placed body shots put that fucking filth on his ass twice. And on the second time, he didn't get back up.
Do we have a clip of that?
I couldn't find one to have the wife play.
No worries. I was just curious.
Hey, he loved to see it, man. He loved to see people get their comeuppance.
Yes, 2 vicious. It kind of reminded me of that scene in The Other Guys where Damon Wayans' son says, "I will rock your body with vicious, nasty hooks and having pissing blood out of your ass."
Yes, sir.
You want to dance
blood for a week?
Dude, I hope that motherfucker pissed blood out his dick and his ass that night. You fucking scumbag. I'm glad you got his first title defense, too, and he lost it. Congratulations to Keyshawn Davis. Congratulations to his younger brother who made his pro debut at 4-0.
You know what they say, though? You know what they say, that you're not the champ until you defend it once. So, I guess
wasn't really champ.
Well, that's what happens, though, man. You play games like that where people like this. like racism and like oppression, that's just not cool, man. It's not funny.
It's not something. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you out, Marcus. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Well, there's no room for that in sport. Like, I get like what you're saying, talk shit, sell the fight, but you take it to that place, it's like ain't no coming back from that. Like whatever happens now, you ask for it. You know. My bad, Rick. Go ahead.
No, I was literally just going to reiterate that, like the same point that you were making. It's like it's one thing to talk shit, and even in like WWE, I mean, in wrestling and whatnot, we've seen it. They can get pretty fucking personal, but there's a difference between like getting personal and then that, you know. And I think that's a lot of times where like the FAG word and the couple of other words, RET word, you know, that are out there that are really super sensitive right now. It's not so much like, because like I'm the first one to tell you, like I grew up, the FAG word didn't mean like the gay slang to me. It was just what we called somebody who was being a bitch. You know what I mean? Like for less of terms, right? So it's one of those things. It's like okay, yeah, you gotta still be a little bit sensitive to those around you, regardless, because we all know at the end of the day, even though these guys fight, and yes, personal vendettas get clicked in there at times, but you know. You can't go to certain places with that. You know what I mean? Especially if they were in cahoots and this was work and they did that to draw attention, different story.
But man, by Keyshawn's reaction,
I don't think
most of these cats aren't actors, so you can kind of pick up. Like, look, I'd have been like me personally. I'm not speaking for anyone else. I would have been okay with the Ukrainian talking about this dude's mama or, you know, a family member, you know, take it there if you want to like hype up to the fight and make it personal. But like, nigga, you want to send me a basket of bananas?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, man.
Like,
because that's not even a good shtick. That's not even a good shtick.
Because
really? You know what I mean? Like that's why we expect that shit from like WWE. But UFC,
look, I'm only mentioning the bananas. There's way more to it that came along with the banana basket. But like, really? You really? Like, it would have been one of those times where, you know, Deontay Wilder's probably the only fighter I've ever heard say this, where I probably would have been okay with this Ukrainian dying in the ring.
Wow.
One punch, one death. How you doing? Let that be a lesson to the rest of you. Because, I mean, in that game, it's possible to happen. You know, you don't wish it on any of the athletes. But
well, that's why they stopped the matches so fast.
At a time like this, you know, from my perspective, where, you know, niggas are dying every day by the hands of people that look like this motherfucker, you really want to send a motherfucker a banana basket and me cool with it?
And you can't play ignorant. You can't play. We're from the east of the world. We don't know. We don't have those like thoughts. Like, dude, you know what that means. Everybody knows.
Present day, you go to a soccer game, Argentina, in the UK, and some of those places where they all think they white, they're throwing bananas at the black players, saying the most horrendous thing. 2025.
Yep.
Facts.
So, like, I say this again. Had this Ukrainian died in the ring from a punch, I would not have felt terrible. Anybody else, I'd have felt bad. But had he died in the ring from a punch, I would not have felt bad. Because motherfuckers like you deserve to die. That's the only way this kind of shit is going to go away. For everyone that has that kind of mindset, to be dead. Because you can't change those kind of people's minds. I'm sorry that comes off that harsh, but I'm not sorry. There you have it, folks. Keyshawn Davis, congratulations to your belt. I wish you many more. I hope you unify it.
Good shit, brother.
I hope to see Bud Crawford. Whoop. Here we go. Let's watch my brother work.
Saying that they don't allow them to tie you up and hit them downstairs to the body.
There it is. There it is. How you doing? How you doing? Try to catch your breath, buddy. Try to catch your breath.
Is that a liver shot?
Yes, he hit my liver.
Hey, you heard what Oscar said, bro. It said you get hit the liver, your whole body shuts down. Like your whole body's like, we're out. Game over.
Dude, that kind of shot just ruins you. Just ruins you. I love that happened. Congratulations to Keyshawn again. What month are we in? February. So in September, this Canelo and Bud Crawford fight is set to go. Let's go, Bud.
Are they what weight are they fighting at? Because Bud's gonna have to move up.
Yeah, Bud is moving up 2 or 3 weight classes to take this fight.
And Canelo's got to move down, right?
I thought they were.
I don't think Canelo's coming down.
I thought he was fighting like super middleweight.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I thought Matt was going to be here.
Yeah,
I didn't look this kind of stuff. Yeah, I didn't look. I just know that they're supposed to fight.
That's a
I
mega
know.
fight, though.
Yeah. It is.
That's a huge fight.
We'll
Now,
revisit
it
it
is.
next week. We got some time.
Canelo's lost to Floyd Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Canelo basically said I couldn't catch him.
Yeah, and that was baby Canelo too. That was
baby Canelo.
Yeah,
even though he was 40, he's like 41, 42-0. He was still young on the come up. And again, we all know Floyd Mayweather is famous for running. Yes. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He's a runner, the best track starter to ever grace the ring. Other than that, he hasn't done shit.
Back in the day, he did. Like when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he used to fight. Like he used to go in there and bang. But once he became money,
till Jose Luis Castillo whooped that ass, and he was like, you know what? Let me run around and slap people on the mouth instead of taking punches, because that doesn't work for me.
Zab Judah was doing some work.
Hell yeah!
Until his cornerman jumped in the ring and started throwing punches, and everybody got thrown out. And then after that fight was a complete
Shane Mosley.
Fight. Yeah,
the first 2 rounds of Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley put in work. And then just, again, Floyd Mayweather gets to running.
He gets to running, but, like, defensively, like, I'll give Mayweather that. Like, if you don't take him out in the first 2-3 rounds, once he figures out your punch patterns, it's a wrap. Because he's way faster than everybody he's going to fight. And regardless, I like Mayweather, and I'm a fan. He fights people at the right times. Like, he fought De La Hoya when he was old. He fought Pacquiao when he was old. He fought Canelo before he was Canelo. Like
he was the first fucking Jake Paul. You know what I mean?
Like these fights.
Like at the end of the day, that's what that shit was about.
And dude, people have argued with me. I mean, the way LeBron fans argue with me about Floyd Mayweather, like, dude, he will never be a GOAT in my eyes, because during his time, there were better fighters that he avoided. Paul Williams. He avoided. They were definitely in the same weight class.
Paul was nice.
Paul was nice. He did he pass away? I think he may have passed away.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he
rest
got
in
paralyzed peace. Too, dude.
Yeah. And dude, Sergio Martinez ruined Paul Williams too before that accident. Like that knockout was just.
Oh yeah, with the eyes open, that shit was hard.
Like it was just terrible. It was just terrible. But Winky Wright was another one that he could have fought that he completely avoided. There were guys that he avoided on purpose. And the Manny Pacquiao thing, Manny Pacquiao is one of my favorite fighters, and it's not just because he's Filipino. It's because he goes in there and he whoops your ass.
Yeah.
Tim Bradley beat him in 2 fights. The judges gave him those 2 fights.
Yeah.
I would have respected Tim Bradley if he said, hey, the judges got it wrong. They whooped my ass, but I'm thankful for the victory. But this motherfucker had the nerve to say, I beat this man. I watched those fights twice over.
That's what
there's no way in hell
that they have that when they're like with finish. When they talk about the wins, you didn't really hear this before. This has only been more recent, last couple of years, where it'll be like, I don't know, I'm going to use random numbers on anybody. 23-9 with 18 finishes. Like they're specifically starting to call out where it wasn't a decision. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to start to carry more weight. It carries weight within the circle now. But I think when it comes to like overall stats and cred and that kind of thing, it's gonna carry a heavier weight. Your guys that win all these decision fights and never knock them out.
To come from circle, where I was going with Canelo's loss is that Bud Crawford is fast.
Yes.
He's not going to run, but he can move.
Yes.
Canelo, though, he's still good. And I mean real good. I don't know, man. Again, Bud Crawford is one of those cats that came up, like Canelo, because Canelo was bullied when he was growing up and had to do a lot of street fighting. But Bud Crawford, on the other hand, his street fighting led to victories. His professional bouts have led to victories. I consider him more of a GOAT than I consider Floyd Mayweather, and will ever consider Floyd Mayweather. Being undefeated, yeah, come on, dude. You know what you do.
I give Bud crap because of what he did to my boy Aerosmith.
Oh, of course, he whooped his ass.
But I give Bud his props. He is a beast. I'll say this, like you're saying, like he has the speed advantage, and he's not afraid, so he's not gonna run. But you can't sit in the pocket with Canelo. Like he's a little bit too precise of a puncher to sit there and trade with him because he is a naturally bigger man too. So I feel like Bud I think he has a great shot at winning. I wouldn't even be surprised if he's the favorite to win. Like he is a beast. But and like you're saying, Canelo is definitely like I would think on his way down. I don't think he's at his peak anymore. He's still
because there are some fights that you can question that he might have lost, like to Triple G.
Yeah.
I can't speak on any other fights past Triple G, but you know those fights could have went either way with the way those dudes are banging. You know what I'm saying? So
those are definitely arguments. That's for sure.
But on the other hand, none of his fights have been questionable. None, absolutely none.
I still don't like how you did my boy, man. I wish they would have fought before Errol's accident. Like, if they would have had that fight before the car accident, it would have been a more competitive fight.
Look, I know you might be using the car accident as an excuse for the ass whooping that my man took, but even before he got punch drunk from that car accident, that ass whooping was inevitable.
But you remember how good Errol Spence was, though, bro.
He was.
He was a beast, man. He's still a beast. That's my guy, man.
But he went up against a bigger beast.
That's true.
That swallowed him whole.
He went
and look, I'm a fan of Canelo, but I'm a huge fan of Bud. I've been following Bud his whole career. I'm proud to say I've been following Keyshawn. I'm glad he whooped that motherfucker's ass. I'm going to continue watching this man whoop ass.
Yeah. He's on
this is going to be a good fight. This is going to be a really good fight. And shit, man, I don't even know what else to say about this.
It's the biggest fight to make at this point in boxing, I would think, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's the two guys that, if you think about the landscape of boxing, like those are the two biggest guys.
That's not exhibition.
Yeah, that's not like a Jake Paul kind of situation, like actual dudes that do this.
And despite his woman beating Tank Davis is another one that sells fights because you know either he's going to put someone to sleep. Ryan Garcia is another one that sells fights. Can't wait to see him back in the ring.
Yeah, love Ryan. Love Tank. Yeah, personally no, but love his fight. Love his fight game, the way he fights, and he's a little pit bull, man.
Shakur Stevenson. I'm waiting to see Shakur Stevenson and Tank fight to see what the deal is there. There's another fight in that weight class to be made too. I can't remember his name.
Do you remember the twins? The two twins. Like Canelo beat one of them.
Yeah.
Twin, I think the other twin is about to fight Canelo in May. Because I think that's what the whole Saudi deal was.
The black guys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking.
Charmel.
Yeah, Charmelo. Charmelo. Yeah. Not Carmelo. I don't want to. Yeah, I know those brothers. Those brothers are pretty good too.
Yeah. I know that's like the Saudi deal fell apart because they told Canelo, like, if you take the Jake Paul thing, then the Saudi deal is off the table. And that bag, you can't dismiss that bag. So I get it. And the Bud Crawford fight wouldn't have happened either. Yeah. So I mean, I get it.
Bud Crawford's a better fight to sell.
Yeah.
But it is the past, but it still is vibrating through every community, and that is the Super Bowl halftime show. Now, I'm not going to congratulate the Eagles again, whatever. But Kendrick Lamar surpassed Michael Jackson's numbers when it came to Super Bowl views.
Like the Super Bowl. I don't.
Super Bowl
doesn't count though, bro.
Yeah, that's just the amount of people.
It's just more people.
Changed. Yeah, there's more people have changed. More people.
Yeah,
and it wasn't.
If you will,
was like the first. Like they did Super Bowl halftime shows that were like college bands and like local acts. Like Mike was the first like big pop star to do it,
and the only one to get paid for it too, by the way.
Yeah, but like I'm not gonna say that his was better. It's just different. You know what I mean? Like if Mike was doing it in this day and age,
two different Super Bowls, of course. Two different types of artists, of course. Two different genres.
I'm not going to put anybody over Michael Jackson, like ever in any category. But there's a way to do it and not disrespect either. Be like, hey, Kendrick's was what it was, and Mike for his time was what it was. Like
look, Michael Jackson was making not just women, grown men faint at because of his presence.
I
Okay,
haven't seen anything
and I
like
mean,
that before.
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro.
you know what I'm saying? You've never seen anything like that before.
That
And
was
look,
that was the better version of Elvis at the end of the
and
day.
to that, I say this: what we saw with Kendrick Lamar. For those that didn't get it, we tried to explain it to you. If you didn't get it, there's plenty of people, like white people, if you like to believe them. There are plenty of white people breaking it down for you on the online and letting you know what this man was doing and how genius he was breaking it down for you. And here's what I'm going to say to this: I'm going to be surprised if we ever see another real nigga on stage in the Super Bowl again, and not just the popcorn niggas that'll just be, yes, I'll do this, I'll do that.
Well,
because after what he did, play this. Hey, roll this clip for me before we go, because this clip really made me smile. I think this chick is a baddie because of this. Roll clip for me.
It's a cultural divide. I'm gonna get it on the flow. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the music.
They get in the music.
You really about to do it? Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. Hey, I'm tripping.
Oh, break it down for me, girl. Break it down for me, girl.
Mustard on a beat, bro. Beat, bro. He a freak, though. Man down, call like Ember Lamps. Tell him breathe. Let them boys to the cross, they walk around like
you know you like him, Marcus. Take a good look, buddy.
In the street, can hate me, pop them all in their mama. How many options you really got? I mean, it's
too many options.
Hell yeah, you go, girl. The only thing terrible about this frame. Oh, there you go. There you go.
I'm the one that up the skull. Walking down the whole time I know he got some hoe.
I think her tag name on TikTok is Graham Tam.
Love it.
Y'all show that lady some love, man.
Love it, bro. I've watched the halftime show at least 3 times since the initial live reaction.
Dude, Kendrick Lamar has groups of Mexicans on the online doing this shit,
bro.
So speaking of doing this shit, on Friday night was the 50th anniversary showing for Saturday Night Live. Okay, so they had all these old folks that came from back in the day and a bunch of music and stuff like that. In fact, I just sent a clip to Micah if she wants to run it. It's effectively, if you remember back in the day, Will Ferrell, he was the preacher, and his wife, they ran the church, and he's sitting the organ and played the shit.
Yeah.
Listen, when I tell you, like, if it made it to Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary show, it's part of the system.
How do you think Drake feels about this? Because these niggas are dropping the lyrics.
This is a moment. 100% Sony and Universal telling him, "Okay, sue us again, motherfucker."
Hey, this reminds me of a scary movie.
They want to get your hand-me-down. Everybody at the party playing those sounds. Well, we're playing here around certified lover boy, certified. Pop, 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 fuck 'em. Pop, 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 pop. I'm gonna do myself. Why you throwing like? Ain't you tired? Tries like a chord, and it's probably A minor. A minor.
So if you don't think Sony and Universal and NBC are the same fucking company, so if you don't think this isn't Universal and Sony fucking, all right, go ahead, sue us, Drake. We got you, big dog.
Dude, when I first saw that, I was like, yeah, because Will Ferrell, I love it. A lot of people don't like him because he's a little vanilla, but
this is a historic moment, man. Like, 20 years from now, we're gonna be talking about this exact.
And that's where I was going with the comparison with Michael Jackson. I would never say Kendrick's halftime show was better than what Michael did, because with Kendrick's show came a lot of statements, and a very strong statement, which is why I say this again. I will be extremely surprised that if we have another hardcore black artist ever grace that stage after what he did. I'm glad he got a message off. I'm glad he let people know what time it is. And again, I've been to a Kendrick Lamar concert, and let me tell you, folks, nothing but white people at these concerts.
Oh, I know.
Nothing but white people.
So I said,
I'm in the midst of white people saying nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that, and what am I gonna do?
You know what I love about the show? He didn't do like the cookie cutter stuff. Like, he's got major hits that like that go
He could have
across
done.
genres. He put out what he wanted to do. He told the story the way he wanted to tell it. And again, like you said,
And
people are
how
still
he
talking
told it,
about
you know, again, folks, if you don't know, go look it up. They break it down for you. How he used Sam Jackson. Serena Williams being on stage is another statement. Like everything was a statement that he did, from
everything
to the start being lit up in the crowd to the game over ending in the crowd. Like everything. The colors that he used, everything was intentional. Everything. Again, phenomenal show. If the music wasn't for you, look up what the message was. Hopefully the message was for you, and hopefully you understand it. Moving on. I have two favorite comedians. As you know, I have I got some favorite. You know, I like Jamie Foxx. Of course, I love Dave Chappelle. You know, Dave Chappelle still, makes me laugh. But again, his stuff is basically to like educate you on some shit and entertain you a little bit at the same time. But the guys who kind of outwardly make me laugh is Bill Burr and Joe Coy. And it's not because he's Filipino. It's because he's fucking funny. Thank you very much.
Joe's hilarious. Are you kidding?
Yeah. He's fucking hilarious. Bill Burr's had a situation going on. Bill Burr's not the only Hollywood, person in Hollywood. I think Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey got the same thing going on. The Matthew McConaughey, Woody Harrelson thing, folks are like, oh, they're just best friends. If you look at pictures of Woody Harrelson's little brother, him and Matthew McConaughey kind of look alike, and Matthew McConaughey so much so feels that it could be true that he doesn't want to do the DNA test because that would mean the father that he's loved all his life isn't his dad, and he doesn't want that to happen, so he doesn't want to take that test. Now, to the Bill Burr thing.
This is different. I think this is work. I'm going to put that out there in Front Street. I think that they're both working this a little bit.
And I kind of want to point this out because, I've never known Howie to be, I've known Howie to be a germaphobe, but I've never known him to pull some shit like, whether it's a work or not, to just pull some shit like this, even if, it could. Because, dude, I've never seen the clip of the video. I've just heard it. Those motherfuckers look alike. And when you hear the backstory, they were saying that he has two families. He called one Bill, the other one Billy, so that he wouldn't confuse the names. They're practically from the same motherfucking town. The background of the daddy, go ahead and rotate.
If you play the clip too, Billy says he was called Bill when he was younger. That Billy really was more of a stage name.
Sit down.
You're an asshole.
Billy Corgan. I'm an asshole. I thought this would be great to bring a family together.
He didn't tell you.
This is how I think it's a play.
That's what he does. That's what he does.
I thought it would be a good surprise.
Can this be edited out or no?
I can go. I mean,
his body language, man. I don't
They
know.
do look alike, though. They really do.
Did you ever think the fact that I never told that story, that maybe you shouldn't? Did you ever? How many fucking emails and crap that I got? I sort of went away from that.
So let me just fill in. Let me just fill in.
Do we talk on a regular basis?
We've never met.
So Billy Corgan was nice enough on my podcast to talk about the fact that he told a story that he'd never told before, that his father traveled.
My stepmother said to me, do you know who Bill Burr is? Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days on being a traveling musician.
If you do the math.
He was a piece of shit. And he had two kids this close together, and he named them the same fucking name. He thinks it's different because he's Billy and I'm Bill. That's how he told the difference.
Well, I was Bill when I was young, but you're right. I mean, with all respect.
I just thought,
whatever. It's not that I don't like him. It reminds me of all of that shit. So,
it just seems more of the same from what I've been hearing.
All right, whatever. I mean, I like your music.
Appreciate that.
Okay, great.
Would you? What'd be cool if you let your brother play drums?
Well, the fact that he said he can't sing, I think that sort of disproves that we're related.
But neither can
because I'm not funny, right? You know what I mean? So it goes both ways.
Listen, you've done well for yourself. I'm happy for you.
you know, but I just would prefer if you just kind of didn't go around. No, not telling these fucking stories. Like, why did you feel the need to do that?
Okay, can I give you the setup on all this? Because it's his fault.
You can do whatever you want because you kind of already did that.
Okay, I'm trying to respect.
Now you are.
Okay, no wait. He told me you were cool.
You're a Cubs fan? That fucking tracks.
POFC.
Fucking Wrigleyville, bunch of cunts. Southside's where it's at. What's up?
Do you want me to tell
see how he's handling
Yes.
it, though, right? You see how he's handling it.
So,
he's pissed.
You know, he owns about 80 buildings in this area.
He's handling it real
you know how
good.
rich he is. But anyway, so I was working in another building of his, and I came out the building, and the first thing he said to me was, "Here comes Bill Burr." And I said, "Do you know that story somehow?" He said, "What story?" So I told him privately that story.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Oh, you got to say this on the air."
Yeah, but he always does that. Because that's the thing. He's bringing in here not because he's trying to heal the bullshit that we went through growing up. He's getting here just for the fucking ratings. I mean, the guy literally accepted a fucking award in the middle of a podcast. I'm supposed to be promoting my special, and he's over here like...
You can do it. March 14th on Hulu.
Like, that's going to help now?
I still love you, though. Even though you did
But
this.
it's not about
Okay,
me.
so now what was supposed to happen? Are we going to go play catch? We're both in our 50s.
My arm is still good. I gotta go. I gotta say.
Do you like wrestling?
Like what kind of wrestling? the real shit or like the WWE? The WWE, I love that.
Okay, I own the NWA, which is the oldest wrestling organization in the world.
All right, that's I respect that.
He won't come. He won't come to a show, but at least you would.
Would you go to one of his events?
To what? An NWA
event? Yes.
It's wrestling.
Oh, wrestling. Yeah. You know, just
he's
I
busy.
don't know.
He's busy. He's busier than God. This guy.
No.
I can't even believe you got him in here. To set this up.
Do you want to?
And you set us both up.
I know. Does YouTube give you fucking awards for
setups?
Healing fathers who secretly have two families?
This is some Dr. Phil shit you got going on here.
Yeah, thank you.
I think that you guys should take a moment.
I think we're on the same page, thinking that you're kind of a dick right now.
I think you're a dick too.
What did you do with this?
Yeah, you didn't know he was going to do this, right?
Mm-mm.
Whatever. But I don't have any at some point we will hang out. I don't think on a podcast to try to fucking.
This is where it starts.
Oh, you
Sonny,
smoke
play
too, huh?
something.
No, it's just, I don't want to talk about it because he's a jerk.
If you want to watch the rest of the video, go ahead and look that up.
Hey, Bill Burr is a legend, bro. Bill Burr is.
He is, man.
That dude is great. He is funny as hell.
But he's also a character, and I've seen interviews with him where he has broke kayfabe, where he is actually broke character, and that is just a character he created to deal with the shit that he's dealing with. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a firm believer. One of the best ways to deal with this dumbass fucking Earth's traumas is to escape into your art. And he just has a very direct, sarcastic view. He's the closest thing that we have to like the old school dad from back when we were little. You know, that dad that was just kind of like shitty about everything and fuck life and it sucks. I just get up and go to work every day just so you guys can all be fucking assholes and take all the money. You know what I mean? Like that type of look. Like when he tells his jokes and the way he tells jokes isn't like your classic one-liners. He's like Chappelle, like you touched on earlier, where he kind of like breaks out a story. And in that story, he can tell it in a way that's going to make you laugh the entire time because laughter is a way to deal with trauma. But he's really just showing that like
he's telling you the truth.
He's telling you the fucking truth to how it is in a lot of places, you know. But yeah, I think, at the end of the day though, he's also he's an actor and he's a good one. You know what I mean? I know that because I've seen him off character. That's the reason I can personally say that about him. So with that said, he's a lot warmer than he comes across. And he's a lot more strategic in business. And that's why I think maybe he did have a problem with Billy Corgan coming on the show last time and telling the story and him have not told the story and shit like that. And then that turned into, well, we could actually play off of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so because now he's going to be able to talk about it in his fucking stand-ups for eons.
Because actually, he's been asked about it before, and literally has shut that question down from everyone that is at, especially because there were a lot of comedians come on to the Monsters in the Morning, so this particular topic came up or what have you, and I forget the comic's name, but he was like, yeah, Buddy like has known about this for years, but has never wanted to address it.
Well, like you said in the beginning of the
you
video,
can see, like when you see him like doing this with his hands, like he handled how he did in the situation how he put him in very well. Because like, you know, I can tell you right now, I'm not mature enough. You know, Howie don't like to be touched. My fist would have been touching his face repeatedly had he put me in that position, and I felt the way Bill did. Bill, on the other hand, as you said, came back with those sarcastic, you know, like still staying into his face like you're a fucking dick, dude. But making you laugh about calling him a dick.
Right.
Billy Corgan's Smashing Pumpkins, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay. Bro, I didn't think about it until that video. They do look a lot alike. It's like funny when you see people together, you're like, oh, I get it. When you think about them apart, you're like, nah, I wouldn't even.
They're bald and white. Like that's it's racist.
You know, that's not Marcus's racism saying that white people look alike. You know what I'm saying? They just look alike.
Because they don't. Because they don't really. Because they have. If you look at their moms, and like I've seen some different things, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna throw this out there. It's quite possible because how babies get made. I'm not saying that they're not brothers because there's a good chance that they are. Maybe not. But that said, Bill Burr kind of looks like your typical Saudi Boston Irish fucking guy. He's got the fucking red hair and that pale skin. And Billy has dark hair and dark features before he lost all of his hair. And he's from LA. You know what I mean? Like he was born out there. So like they're not from the same place or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like
I thought they were from the same neighborhood. I thought the word was that they're from the same area.
No. His dad had was setting up franchises type shit. And
his dad was a traveler.
And it
I
fucked
love
up.
that though.
Yeah, he traveled. Exactly.
Is that what we're gonna do? Go play catch with both 50 years old?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's why part of me like feels like I don't think this is. Let me word it like this: work or not, I don't think that Bill Burr did that interview right then and didn't know Billy was going to be coming out.
Okay, like he didn't get blindsided.
That wasn't a blindside, and if it was a blindside, it probably would not have gotten released. We wouldn't be seeing it because, like, if he legitimately felt that way, yeah, he might sit there and roll with the punches, but then he's going to be fucking suing, and it's going to be a problem, and it's going to be on TMZ and all of that. I know
he was told there was a special guest. They say he wasn't told.
That's what I mean, and you got to know that where Billy Corgan told the story was where on the same fucking seat you're sitting in. There's no way that I buy that he didn't expect that because they do it to us in every single talk show for as long as talk shows have existed. They act like the person sitting there in the interviewee chair doesn't know the questions that are coming. Rest assured, and every single fucking talk show and show like that you see, they're in the green room. They know what the questions are going to be. They have a publicist who says, don't ask this, don't ask that, don't bring that up. So I that's why I just don't buy it. That's too big a star. Howie's too big a star. This isn't just like our podcast and fucking somebody showed up and said this shit. You know what I mean? Like coming to be, you know.
I will say though, like it is going to draw interest for all three of them. Like Howie's spot is going to get more looks. Obviously, Bill Burr, like you said, is going to be
even though he don't need
story. No, he don't need it, but hey, it's going to get more people invested.
Keeps you relevant.
Smashing Pumpkins are always relevant. Like, yeah, I mean, I if that's the point of it, then I think they succeeded.
Hot take.
They're dropping a new album next month and have a worldwide tour.
Striper is better than Smashing Pumpkins.
Who is?
Striper.
Striper.
There you have it.
Oh my
there you have it, folks.
I don't know
on the Blunt Lab exclusively.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know that. You see, both of y'all are being disrespectful right now. Striper is one of the greatest American bands ever.
The Pumpkins are up there, bro. The Pumpkins
amazing
are like
80s.
one of the goats, man.
Yes, okay. Pumpkins are goats, and here's why. Because, and it's funny because they bring it up in the podcast. Because look, Billy is one of the most amazing songwriters that has ever existed, right there with Mozart, Beethoven, etc. Especially in his time period, because he was in a genre that was like just booming with amazing talent, and he was one of the better ones. And he completely wrote every single instrument, every single word. But he's not really a good singer. So Bill Burr's whole thing about, oh well, I'm not a good singer. That's why I jokingly said it. I said neither is Billy, and people have said it forever. Like Billy is a terrible singer. His voice is ridiculous. Like he's not good at ballad. He's not good at scream. You know what I mean? Like he can't belt. Like he's not really a good singer, but he writes all of it. So he's one of the most amazing artists from that time period. But that's a valid argument, though, that they're not brothers.
I agree with you, Rick. I agree with you. To stand out in that era that they're from, that says a lot because there was so much talent in that one era with that one genre, and he stood out. Like the Smashing Pumpkins stood out. They're still relevant.
They're still relevant today. We went to see him in a festival 2 years ago. I brought my parents from miles and miles away because that's one of my mom's faves to the festival for one of the days just to see them. Like that's a big deal.
You know who's better? You know who's better and who's more relevant? Striper and Air Supply. All right.
Air Supply is dope. I'm not gonna say nothing away from Air Supply.
Now you're comparing apples and oranges.
Yeah, that's a completely different thing, though. Air Supply is not the same.
Like Kendrick and R. Kelly. Like, you know what I mean?
Like, come on.
We have two more things I wanted to cover before we wrap things up. That'll be the All-Star Game and Beast games. So the All-Star Game, not the All-Star Game, but the dunk contest.
Stuff last night. I mean, like, look, did you watch them all?
Yes.
Okay, so you watched everything you saw. Listen, my boy had some good dunks, but Mac won that contest. I don't give a fuck. He outshined them all by far. It wasn't even close.
There were a couple of 50s he got that my wife disagreed with, and I was like, look, if you're watching the other guys, what he did was good, but when you miss the first couple of dunks and you don't land it right there, that
it doesn't count. Yeah. It's best run. It's best run. That's how it is in every Olympic sport and every extreme, everything.
And for those of you that know who we're talking about, Mac McClung, who plays in the G League for the Magic.
They were both up and comers. Neither one of them are role players on a team.
But they just call him up for the dunk contest.
Yes. What I really like too, not to cut you off, Albert, so you can proceed with this. Giannis and this guy came out last night and said, John Morant said, you know what? Maybe it's time to bring back us big dogs. Like they both, Ja brought it up. He was like, all right, you know what? These G League guys
Josh should be in the fucking contest.
That's the point. Yeah. And Giannis, and then Giannis followed up the tweet with, if you go, Ja, I'll go. So it already started a whole thing where I think next year we're going to see some pros and we have maybe two of them. And
I hope so. Because I mean, I commend the G Leaguer saving the dunk contest. But as a fan, again, I commend the G Leaguer, but we want to see the stars compete.
Yes,
because dude, watching Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins compete.
Spud Webb.
Bro.
You feel me? Vince Carter.
Outside of the new era guys, like everybody that competed in dunk contests were like all-stars. Like they were at All-Star weekend because they were playing in the game later. Like all those guys were like big time players. And I'm like I'm with you. Like I love Mac and I love what he's done for the dunk contest. And he needs to be there. Like he needs to be there next year to defend it. But they need the star power back. Like they need the star power back. They just it just doesn't.
Did you watch the half court contest? Did you watch the okay? So all right. So for the listeners, real quick, this year's All-Star setup is kind of different. What they've done is technically tonight there's two different games. Some of the rising stars and the G Leaguers got to work their way in to get to this prime time game that's happening today and tonight and whatnot. But long story short, 4 different people. And the main ones we're talking about we're talking about Charles Barkley, and we're talking about Shaq. They are the captains this year. All right. This is the first time anything like this has happened. They were the captains. All right. So what happened is Shaq has Shaq's OGs, and he has all the American players that are badass right now. Except LeBron, who's not playing. We'll go back to that later. Cough, cough. But he's got Steph, Kev, Dame, all the guys from America, right? And then Chuck has all of the around the world guys. So he has not Luka. So we don't got Bron and Luka tonight, which is fucking ridiculous to me. But he's got he's got
Giannis and the Joker.
The Joker, Giannis, all of the European guys. The guy from fucking Oklahoma. You know, Vilder, like all of the guys that are from around the seas. So tonight's setup is a little bit different, and those two teams are playing each other, but also these other teams that were built of rising stars got to compete to play tonight in prime time or whatever. And it's got Macus playing on that team. The dude that he was dunking against last night is on that team. It's got a lot of the more younger guys in the league. It's actually going to be probably a better game. Like when you talk about old school, especially us older guys, when you talk about what an all-star game is, now it's become like an exhibition, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the terms of and let me rephrase that. It's always been an exhibition. It's turned into like a parade now. Like where you're showing this thing, like when it's going down the street with the rafts and shit. The old All-Star game was you got all the best motherfuckers from everywhere, and this was every level from T-ball to the, all the way up, right? Is that you got the best guys together and you saw the best games of the year when you watched All-Star games, and they were usually after the season ended. So like now it's turned into this like exhibition in the middle of the year that's just sort of designed to like draw attention to the league. I think that I hope and I'm gonna probably catch shit for this, but I hope that LeBron retires soon. I'm ready for the league's evolution. I'm not taking anything away from LeBron, but I'm ready for the focus to not be on him because we have all of this potential that's happening with the league. But because they're like gripping on, it's like if you were a gold digger, like you got this one spot where you've been getting gold, and you don't want to give up on it. But now you got data that over here, bro, there's a bunch of fucking gold. You should probably go over here. Yeah, but I know I got this. It's gonna cost me money to go over here. And the NBA is at its lowest point. It's clearly being indicated online and through every single fucking rumor mill that there exists that this whole Luka trade to LA was more designed to shake enough things up in the NBA for ticket sales that it was beyond everyone involved, and it had everything to do with the owners. And there's more too if you dig into it. And I know this takes away from the All-Star, but Luka's not there, right? Well, the owner of the Mavericks is this chick now. She's now the majority owner. Cuban a year ago gave her a majority stake, right? Sold her a majority stake. She wanted to build a new arena for them, a new stadium, right? That had a casino in it because she's a casino owner. That's how she has her money. She's a Vegas casino owner. And so they wanted to build a casino there in Dallas. Well, then Mark sold his shares to her, his majority shares to her. He's only like 21% now. And she's got all into all this shit with the city of Dallas. Dallas won't approve the casino. She says, oh, you won't approve my casino? Well, I'm not going to build a new stadium. And now I'm going to move the team to Vegas. So she's getting rid of the only money and income they had by getting rid of Luka and making. Have you seen the fucking movie? I swear to God, we're in a simulation. The fucking Cleveland Indians in the movie with fucking Charlie Sheen, Major League. That was the whole concept to it. This chick owner took over the Cleveland Indians and she wanted to move the fucking team to LA or San Diego or whatever the fuck it was. Right? So she started tanking the team. She hires these guys from the fucking minor leagues and these crazy fucks. It's the same shit that's going down in Dallas right now. And it's affecting everything. I think this whole All-Star weekend, the changes that they made, though, is a big plus. Except for you guys. You see what Chris Paul and Will Ballin did last night? Like, what the fuck?
And got disqualified for it. But let's congratulations to Marcus's boy Tyler Hero for winning the 3-point contest.
Another white boy. Two white boys won last night. I figured y'all were gonna get racist about it.
I did want to add one thing to Rick's point. You know that there's some fire to this smoke, or there's some smoke to this fire, if the NBA commissioner has to come out and address it. Yep. He's never done that with a trade where he's like, oh, no, I understand the fans of Dallas being upset, but I don't think there was no kind of ulterior motives, this and that. And it's like, if it's not some truth to it, why do you need to address it, commish? You know what I mean? Like, you don't ever see commissioners do that kind of thing. So I'm with you on that. Like, there's definitely more to it than just, we want to get better. You don't trade a 25-year-old all-world player to get better. That doesn't make sense. So,
Yeah.
That's
Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast in Beast games. Like I never really pay attention to his stuff. I see his peanut butter chocolate stuff in the stores all the time.
Are you seeing his candy bars now that my son was asking for 3 weeks before they came out?
Yeah, I've been.
Have y'all tried it?
I haven't tried it yet.
It's a Nestle Crunch, like a little bit different flavor type shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some of them are bigger, but it's the branding.
Gotcha.
Now, for a game show, I will say it kept me interested. I'm 9 episodes in. The final 6. For those that haven't watched it, it's on Amazon Prime. I'll try not to give too much away, but I will comment on certain people in the show. Like, it's $5 million. Everyone's competing. It's like Squid Game style, but nobody
it is
dies.
Squid Game. No, it's 100% themed to Squid Game. There's no like beating off. They're working together. The same production company's working together on it. So it's Squid Games, except for the death. It's not the death part gets taken away out of it. That's it.
Okay.
And
they still have the death.
They get to fuck with you emotionally, mentally. And for those of you, Squid Game is a good show, but let me direct you to Alice in Borderland on Netflix. Much better.
It's coming back in September.
Yep. Oh, so you got the date?
Yeah.
Hell fucking yes.
Netflix finally put it up September 2025.
Oh,
so
yes.
Yeah.
So yes, there you have it. Netflix. Alice in Borderland is the original fucking game show, if you will, that was killing folks. Again, Squid Game is good. Alice in Borderland better.
Yeah.
Both on Netflix. Check it out. But in this one, like, you guys are close to me, so you guys know I love you. I trust you. Whatever, right? I don't feel that way about people I don't know. I automatically don't trust you. That kind of shit gets earned, right? Y'all know you're going into a game show for $5 million, which means there is no such thing as team. As much as some of these fucking games are team-based, motherfuckers ain't your teammates, man. They're not your teammates. You need
the teams in the early rounds, especially though. Like you gotta. That's where. If it was that cut and dry, like what you're touching on there, that's where like Survivor and like Big Brother and shit. Like that's where it just like focuses on that. What I like about this is the pace of it all. Number one, and number two is it's a very. You have to. If you don't have. See, like that's where the alliances fuck up in this game. See, alliances is what win those other ones we mentioned, right? But in this game, alliances can kind of hurt you. You just need to be good with everybody. No, I don't need to be in your little alliance there. Oh no, that's good. Oh, you're good. Oh, that's nice. Blah, blah, blah. Like those, and it's because it's early on in the seasons. They haven't got 27 seasons deep like fucking Survivor, where now people see that that's the lie. You know.
Now there was one character. Well, I don't want to say character, but a gentleman that was on the show. I was like, as soon as I saw this scene, I was like, you know what? I don't know if Rick knows that I'm watching this, but
I did.
Seeing that he's seen this show, I know he knows that I'm going to bring this up. Now, there is a gentleman, I remember his name too. His name was Akira. Okay. Now, Akira had been given the power. You know, these motherfuckers voted him in. He had been given the power to eliminate 3 people. This man chooses 3, not just 1, but 3 strong black women on this show to eliminate. And I mean, and he had the nerve before anyone even said it. It's not for the reasons you guys think. It's because, you know, one already has an island. This, you know, he's trying to give excuses. Like, oh, I'm not racist. I got 1 black friend.
But you saw how he went though from that.
3 strong, like this is, you know, I'm sorry if this is like a, you know, whatever, but 3 strong black. And I was like, this mother, and like everybody there pretty much knew what he was doing. I was like, this motherfucker. I was like, you know what goes around comes around. I'm not going to spoil anything, but what goes around, there's a point in the show where they picked captains. And these captains had you know, Mr. Beast playing his games.
He's
Senor
awesome.
the Beast. The money went up to $1 million. These captains had the choice to take $1 million and go home.
Yep.
Or save their squad and stay in the game. Now, you know me, I don't trust people. I don't like people for the most part. I have no faith in people.
All right, I would have took $1 million and went right the fuck home. Before you say anything.
Now, hey, look. Seeing how shit went down later.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, you know, if I'm in that position, that's, you know, I'm thinking of my wife. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't really tell people what I go through, but I was actually thinking what I've been going through these past 2 years, and I'm like, that's $1 million. You know, I said that's $1 million. I said,
hey, I can ask a question. I'm sorry to cut you off. Are these like the contestants? Are they like people that know each other? Or are they just like
no.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to bring this up. I'm terrible with names, but I'm really good with faces. Okay, so the one dude that I thought that was going to take the $1 million, DeGene, that Italian-looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
Either I've seen him in a movie, or I've worked with him somewhere in Florida.
Okay.
The black chick that won the island for $1.8 million.
That's awesome, bro. That side mission was awesome.
I'm glad she won it, but I feel like I've worked with her somewhere in Florida, or I've seen her somewhere on TV before. The guy that she was going up against, I can't remember. It was the last two to win the island. I know I've seen him. Like a lot of these people look like actors to me.
They could be. You know, there's definitely plants in there, without getting too much into it. But you know, the silver-haired guy, I'm pretty sure he's a plant.
Because when he literally reminds me of the Baldwins.
He was just like. Oh no, you're talking about the bigger one.
Yeah. He was the fireman, the older man that was the captain.
He definitely, like, he had his hair and he looked like Alec Baldwin to the T. That guy for sure. But you know, it's obvious the things that are going to happen with him. Because let's just be real, without spoiling. No, I'm talking about like in the episode that you're in right now, without me giving too much away. Right? There's certain ones of them that are about to be shooting the red ball. That silver-haired guy. I'm about 99% sure he's a plant on the show. 100%.
That tattooed fella, Mike.
Yeah,
I know.
Prison guy.
I know him from somewhere in Florida.
You see what I'm saying?
I know we probably have done cocaine together. I can't remember. I can't put my finger on it. But I sniffed a lot of cocaine. I don't remember a lot of shit. But again, I am willing to say that I'm very good with faces.
We do not condone the use of cocaine on this show.
No.
Everybody.
No. We do not. I'm rehabilitated. You know.
This is a totally different
do I
time.
miss it? Do I miss it sometimes? You know, it was a good party. But you know.
What's up?
Hey.
And another disclaimer to that right now. Cocaine will kill you because they put fentanyl in it. You will die.
Yeah. That's essentially
my disclaimer.
Yeah. That's literally why I've left it alone. But back in the day, I'm telling you, man, me and that tattooed fella, I know. And some of those nerdy looking motherfuckers too. I know I've been in a telemarketing scene with some of those dudes. So I recognize a lot of those faces, especially that black chick that won the island. I feel like we were in a bill collection office together somewhere. Like a lot of these faces are super familiar. That's why I'm like, either I've seen them on TV or somehow I've worked with them. Now, the $1 million, I'm not going to lie, I would have took. Then there was right when they were on the ship for the cannons, $400,000. I would, you know, whatever situation, that $400,000 puts me in a situation where everything's okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
If I don't make it, you know, if I didn't have a choice of the $1 million and I have a choice of the $400,000, and see, my thing was this: the $1 million. Here's why I wouldn't have taken it, because it would have eliminated that whole row. And I don't want to, you know, when I play games, if I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you, because that's how competitive I am. I'm not going to be a scumbag about it. So that's why I was going to get into that. You know, I have no faith in people. What they did in that particular scene, whether it's real or not, gave me a little bit, just a little, not a lot, just a little bit of faith in some people in the world. that some people are actually capable of not thinking of themselves and thinking of others. Sure. Now, the 400 grand that little Spanish kid took, that didn't eliminate anybody. That didn't hurt anybody. He was able to take that money, go home, allow the rest of the competitors to compete fair and square. That right there, I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Now, you fast forward to a particular episode. This is probably kind of ruining it, so I apologize. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but everyone was put in a position to get the same amount of money.
Right. But they could take care of all the rest that's left.
But two people
got greedy as fuck.
Everybody else was cool. Like, the first chick actually relied on the next two people to be good people because she thought they were good people. And man.
So I'm telling you, they're not so friendly now that it's getting down to the last couple. So this is why I want to go back to the $1 million thing to devil's advocate onto what you were saying there, Al. Like, look, bro, you weren't friends with nobody on that show, number one, right? And there ain't no goddamn guarantee that anybody in that whole fucking row in front of you is going to be the one that ends in the win, what wins in the end, right? One dude said, I didn't come here to make friends. Now, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, especially, like, fortunately in this game, there's chances to, like, win some money as they're going along. They can get some bread or make a choice like that, or like their cars, people win cars, or they can destroy the car and save people. Like, there's that kind of shit like that, right? And that's all well and good. But if you're coming on the show with 1,000 other people out with the chance to win 5 million, and you're at the point that you're still at, like, where were they at? Like 250 people still? I'm taking the $1 million I just won. Deuces. Y'all figure this out after here. Fuck that. They're not even close at this point. Like, at that point, in the $1 million point, they did that shit to make the show exciting. Like you said, they're probably actors.
And the amount of I love yous that was being tossed around on this fucking show. Like, first off, I tell you two brothers I love you guys because I do, and I think we need to make it more a popular thing. We miss you, bro. We miss you, man. Bro. I think we need to make it a popular thing that men tell each other they love one another because, back in the day, most men didn't do that because they thought it was gay.
No, fuck that. Say I love you.
Get out of that. You know what I mean? But on this particular show, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, it didn't say a team is here to win $5 million.
Right.
It is one person is here to win $5 million. So yeah, be good with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Be good with everybody, but nobody's your fucking friend. Nobody's here to help you out. These team games.
Don't rely on people to be good people. Like, do what's in your best interest for you. That's what the mindset should be.
Like in Alice in Borderland, episode 3, season 1. When you're playing a hearts game, it's literally designed to fuck with your mind, heart, and soul.
Yep.
Okay? The heart being the core of both those things. Now, for those that haven't seen Alice in Borderland, maybe the translation will be funny to you because you're watching it in English, but the actual situation, when you have 3 best friends, take yourselves back to this particular episode. This is the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Who chooses who survives that particular game? This is life and death, not this MrBeast stuff. This is life and death. Who chooses? Who chooses that?
Yeah, no.
Only one of us gets to survive. So at that point, this is where, hey, we've been best friends for over 2-3 fucking decades. At this point, this is where the real test is. No matter what we've done, or no matter how we've been there for one another, this is where the real question lies. Like, what the fuck do you do?
Well, Al, wasn't there, like, in the Hearts game, wasn't there a way for them to have rigged it? I felt like in the beginning of the episode, it kind of set up a way for them to, like, not get out of it, but a way to.
There was only one wolf. There could only be one wolf.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We love you too, bro.
Yes, love you, man.
And like for me, I put it this way because I'm older than all of y'all. And I mean, I know we're speaking from, we're clothed, we're sheltered, we have food, so we're not speaking from a place of desperation.
Agreed.
But for those of you that know me, you know that I'm going to let you know what time it is. I am a sore loser. I am petty. I am most of those things. Yes. But in a situation like that, especially, I'm older than all of you. So I'll give you whatever advice I can, and then I'm gone. You guys figure the rest out, and I leave it up to y'all.
Well,
and you guys have to find it within yourselves to be like, what are we going to do from here? Because I'm gonna let you know. I know what I expect.
The life or death side is a little bit different than like the money side, because bring it back to the point, and I'm going to even include Matt in this since he's chiming in. Let's say it was the four of us, and we're the last four because of the way we worked as a team all the way the fuck through. We got to the last four on MrBeast. I don't care which one of us fucking wins.
Yeah. Now, if we all enter the game together, right. I would recommend that one, we do not play together. Two, at the end, it's 5 million.
Right. We're all good.
Whichever one of us wins, we win. If we can help one another during the games, I recommend that. Mm-hmm. But again, because I know some of these games, like the hard games,
together, and I think they do that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like if let's take it on face value that nobody was a plant, that none of this shit was rigged or set up, which I'm sure it'll come out in a few seasons. That it mostly has been, just like the rest, right? That's that kind of exactly right. Like there's a slick way that you could plan it out, especially when it's 1,000 people and they're going around and they're doing like tryouts. But go ahead.
Take the crew that could have split that 1 million.
Right.
You guys were telling each other you love one another. Yeah, one person banked on the ones that followed her. She put her faith in those people to do the right thing.
See, that's different with some strangers. But like with y'all, I would have faith that we all know what the plan is, the goal.
We're going to be able to work that out.
Strangers,
if we all can't get 5 mil, 100 grand a piece, pimping, we living, bro.
Yeah, fuck it.
We can go to Portland, Oregon, get some pure cocaine minus the fentanyl, and we can party, dude. I'm just kidding.
Allegedly.
If it's somebody that I just met 2 days ago, no, man. I'm not putting that faith in you.
And bro, the amount of I kid you not, the amount of I love yous that was coming out with some of these people. Like, look, I get the emotion. I've been through basic training, so there is a possibility of becoming that close,
like a camaraderie,
because you're suffering. Yeah, you're suffering a kind of trauma together. But I love you. Come on, really? Let's get deep into the game. Let me see where you at first. Now that could be
like a psychological thing too. That's like, I'm gonna make this person feel this kind of emotion, so when it comes down to it, they'll do what's best for me and not what's best for themselves.
Why they tell us stories and shit.
Now you two know me, okay? Now when Homelander kicks in, I'm still a charming motherfucker.
That's a fact. Hey, that's a fact.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's family.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you guys know there's the Joker, there's the possibility of the Joker, there's a possibility of Homelander up in here. Okay? I can tell you I love you, and I'll make you believe that shit. I'll make you follow me without you even knowing. All because that's $5 million motherfucking dollars. Now, if I'm gonna be that guy and not take, because again, real me, if I have the option at that 400 grand, I take it. I'm done. Real me, if I make it to the top 10, and I have an option at that 100 grand, I'm done. Even if I don't make it to the 5 million, I still walk away with 100 grand. I'm done. Now, if we're talking about Homelander, Joker, Punisher / me, that side of me, oh man, I'm gonna get you to love me. I'm gonna help you too. I'm gonna help you a lot. Okay, because I got to put in work too. You're gonna believe in it. Like every Catholic priest makes you feel safe And then boom, next thing you know, it's Bill Cosby time. I'm gonna make you feel those. I'm gonna make you feel those feelings. I'm gonna make you feel those feelings. You know why? Because $5 million. You're gonna feel safe in my arms.
That's why I'm saying, like, yeah, like if when they got to where it was where it got to the point that you were talking, where it got to where you were like they could evenly split, and that program where everybody was sort of where they were on the same page, everybody take 10%, right? That is one thing, but way back then, $1 million, like. Yo, I'm deucing, bro. I'm sorry. $1 million. I'm not greedy. I don't need 5 million if I could get one guaranteed.
Yeah. And you know what? That's why I commend those dudes.
Look at the trains. Yes. People saved people and took themselves out.
Yeah. But she saved her friend, though. I knew when they brought out that, I know we're probably ruining some shit. I'm sorry if we are. Spoiler alert. But I knew.
We're not saying names or anything, so you know what I mean? Like,
I knew when they brought out that mystery thing, I was like,
yep,
I know what Mr. Beast, aka Senor the Beast, is doing. I know what he's doing.
Gonna be, I won't give away who it was, and I knew that's who it was going to be. I predicted it, but the person under that sheet, you have no idea who that is. Like, you feel me? So at the end of the day,
her friend made it through. And again, when you have family like that, when one wins, we all wins. And that girl that made it through, she even proved in that episode that she was a good person too.
Yeah, when they went back to the tower, she was the one who got through the cleanest. So again, without spoiling too much, like they go again, like I told you, what you're about to start watching right now in this last episode and a half, all of that camaraderie shit, gone.
It has to be. It's 5 million. It's 5 million.
Now instead of like what they're doing right, like so far, there's some times like the train, etc., where like you have to choose between who's going and who's not, right? Now it's your only job in the game now is to get other people out, not get other people through. It's to get people out. So you have to, and if you don't, it's like, why would you play chess with me if you weren't going to take my fucking king when it's sitting there? So if I see I can take you out, again, like you just said a minute ago, $5 million, right? If I see your king and I can take it, do I not take it because we were best friends yesterday? And then get back to the game show element, not the people that know each other element. Back to the game show element. What? Yeah, we've rode together and we've helped each other get through some shit. But now it's time for one of us to fucking win. So yeah, I would have took the $1 million. Fuck all you motherfuckers in the line in front of me. Deuces, and took my $1 million and went home.
No,
that's playing the odds. You know what I mean? When I get my parlays and it's like I could stay in and win 1,100. And it gets into the third quarter, and they're like, "Do you want to take 750?" I seriously consider it every single time. Sometimes I will take it because I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen.
Now, I've never heard anything negative about Mr. Beast.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
By going to the zombie apocalypse thing, I told y'all, if you're not friend or family, night, nigga.
You got spies. I played a video game long enough to know.
And I'm going to empty your pockets.
Right.
And I will feel no remorse. I'll ask God for forgiveness later, but I will feel no remorse. Hey, you know what? Look, if I don't have any food, if I have no food, I might cook and eat your ass too. So, there that is too. How you doing?
Those are dire circumstances, though. So
how hungry would you have to be to, like, how many days before you're like?
I am a type 2 diabetic, so my blood sugar needs to stay regular every day. So once I run out of food, if I don't like you, hey. If I'm going hunting, hey, look, hunting people is easier than animal. I'm just gonna say it. All right.
That's true.
Okay. All I gotta do is wave a white flag. Hey, could you please help me? You get close, I snap your neck. You're on the barbecue. How you doing?
That's fair.
Look, Mr. Beast is on Amazon Prime. Feel free to check it out. I'm gonna watch the last episode. I give it, for a game show, I give it 4 blunts. You know what I'm saying? It gets 4 blunts out of me. I couldn't compete. I would like to participate in some of those QR codes to see if I can win some money. I wish I had known about this shit live. Yeah, I'd have been doing it. Mr. Beast, I love what you're doing for folks. I love the opportunity that you give folks. Congratulations to you for sharing your money. Continue to do so. I do have bills as well. I'm not willing to do anything forward, but you can hit me up over here at the Blunt Lab. We'll show you a ton of love. I want to close things out with I don't know if we got to mention it, but we mention that Kanye West has gone off the rails?
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it before, but we didn't talk about it. Did you watch the ad in the Super Bowl? I think that was
exactly. Yeah, okay, so yes, Kanye West had an ad in the Super Bowl. Now, for those that don't know, it did not air nationally, but he did pay certain regions to have this played, and one of these regions was Florida.
Yeah,
these regions were okay to see this type of commercial.
Yo, bro, did you see what he was like? He was like, so I spent so much money on the commercial that I
$7 million.
He's just doing a selfie with it. He was like, so he was basically inferring I spent all that money there, so I'm not spending any money on any production. I spent the money on my teeth instead. And he shows his fucking grill that has these like vampire teeth and blah 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 blah. And he was like, yeah, so yeah, go to my website. And then they took everything off the website and put up only a swastika t-shirt.
Oh, jeez.
And he's gone off the rails on Twitter since. Like, nonstop on Twitter is saying all of this stuff. Like, it's clearly him saying, I can say it, can I? He's saying,
full disclaimer, we do not support these kind of statements. Like, look, I don't know if it's big Kanye or little Kanye doing this shit, but whatever Kanye is doing this shit, like
Kanye.
This, like, what the fuck, dude?
It's not cool, man.
Like,
well, no, he's making a statement, and it's not the kind of statement that like artists make when they want to like get some like publicity so they can sell an album. This is not what this is about.
Between yeah, exactly. Between the rebel flag thing, now this, like, this should be like an on-site thing when this motherfucker is seen. I don't give a fuck how much money this nigga has. Like,
but do you think?
Really?
I mean, like, look, do you think it's a programming from the machine? Like, yeah,
that's
well,
facts.
It's true, Matt. It's true. But
hey, look, I'm not rich. I know he is, and that, you know, that has nothing to do with mental health. But man, there are plenty of people, me included, I'm pretty sure you guys as well, that have either suffered some type of abuse, some kind of trauma, have seen something, or have been through something, or have had somebody close to you been through something that has been, I mean, like, would just take the life out of you. But it gives you no excuse to be a fucking scumbag. Because, look, for example, you know, I'll use myself as an example. I'm in pain every day, 365 a year, no relief. For those that don't know what pain is, if you have no relief from it takes its toll on you mentally. Now, I could take what that makes me feel and act out on it easily. I choose not to. You have a fucking choice. This motherfucker has a choice not to be an asshole. With all that money this motherfucker has, you're choosing to be an asshole.
No.
And yet black people are still suffering in this country, while you choose to be an asshole and call yourself a fucking Nazi.
That's crazy.
When the money you have can do a ton of good for a lot of people, you choose to take your punk black ass and claim that you're a fucking Nazi and push a Nazi shit. You know, whether he's been drugged by the machine, whatever the case, like, you know, what the fucking fuck?
I think he's trying to say that. I think this is like a thing against like look, he pretty much targeted Elon with it all. And, you know, I mean, like the whole thing, like, listen, this is, I don't think it's him saying that he doesn't mean it. He's saying, I can get away with saying this. That's what it's all about. He's just fucking rebelling, bro. Like, this is like he said about when his mama died. He ain't been the same. He didn't get put on until his mama died, basically. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he was writing some beats for Jay, and, you know what I mean? Then he got in his car accident. Sean claims that that's actually when they switched him out, because he was already preaching this shit and a bunch of his shit got out. You know what I mean? So I think it's another one of those that makes him look crazy. So the real shit that comes out from him, I don't think it's him. I think they're making him look bad.
I wouldn't be surprised. That also wouldn't surprise me with the machine. But if in fact it is Kanye,
you just saw his wife left him after he made her fucking basically be naked at the Grammys.
Yeah, they're getting divorced.
Yeah, well, fuck
Kanye. Oh, fellas, before we go, I did go and see Captain America.
Yes, we turn that over to you.
World. Like, okay. Was it the best Marvel movie ever? No. Was it the worst in the past few years? Absolutely not. I thought the movie was perfectly okay. There's great parts of it. There's parts that were like a little bit dicey. My only argument for against it would be like, it felt kind of like, not to spoil anything, but it felt more like a Hulk story, or like from the Ed Norton Hulk to, every like appearance since. It felt more like in a continuation of that. And like Captain America was just kind of like a part of it. But the whole overall story, like, it makes sense why he's doing what he's doing. And like him not taking a serum, like all these things like factored in. Anthony Mackie is the fucking man, bro. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah. He did a good job. Him. He wasn't clearance.
No, he felt like he felt like the Captain America, like he's selling it the right way. I don't know, like, if with the next Avenger movie, like, I don't know if he would be the leader of it. I think that would be more or less just based off of like power levels and shit, but just off of like strategic planning and like just straight leadership. Oh yeah, he exudes everything that character's supposed to be. I thought the villains, I wouldn't say the villains weren't good. They were cool. And I'll say this, because a lot of Marvel movies lately have had this problem outside of like Deadpool. Like, they get to these lulls to where it feels like the story is just stuck in cement, and then it gets to the end like out of nowhere. This movie like paced really well. There were parts that you could tell that they had the reshoots. Like, there were certain scenes where it was like, that don't look like that was the original scene. But the action was cool. Like, Mackie was awesome. I love the cat that's the Falcon. Fucking Harrison Ford still got it.
That's what I was going to ask.
Years later, like, Harrison Ford, yeah, he still got it. Like, he's great.
What do you give the movie?
Honestly, I would give it 4 blunts, man.
4 blunts.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to address what you were saying.
We're spending the money to go see it.
Yeah,
or should I wait?
I don't regret going to see. Like, I'll say this: it was better than every Marvel movie since Endgame, outside of maybe Deadpool and Spider-Man No Way Home. Like, I think it was up there with Shang-Chi too. Like, those 3 movies I would say are like definitively better. But like, I think it was better than Ant-Man 3 or Doctor Strange 2 or maybe not Guardians, but I feel like it was a very good movie. And like, as far as like Captain America, it was like the 3rd best Captain. Like, I think it's better than the first one. Maybe not better than Winter Soldier, Civil War, but those movies were like on a different playing field as well. Like Civil War had this Avengers movie. Yeah,
it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah, like this one I thought was good, and I thought Mackie was I thought he was spot on. His suit looked cool, and I like seeing a cap that can fly and shit. Like, and they picked up part of the Eternal story, where like they had the Celestial out in the Indian Ocean, and like they haven't even talked about it since. Like, this movie had a lot to do with that. So yeah, I thought it was good, man. Okay. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Now to address the Hulk thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Hulk character is still owned by Universal. Universal refuses to give it up.
Yeah.
We will never see a standalone Hulk movie because of that.
Well, Universal can make it.
Until they can get the rights.
I mean, yeah, if Marvel's not handling it, it'll never be, because I mean, look how many Hulk movies we got. And Hulk is a great character. Hulk is a great character. But this was a way to extend the character, like you said, if you will, and add
extend that story.
Mm-hmm.
And the CGI for Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, his Hulk, bro, that was some of the best CGI for the Hulk shit since Endgame and Infinity War and shit like that. Looked fucking cool.
I noticed you didn't mention Black Panther. Is Black Panther in there? Like, where does Black Panther stand with?
Oh, Black Panther, the second one. I think it's in line with it. I think I might have enjoyed this a little bit more. I feel like Black Panther 2, not the first Black Panther. The first Black Panther is like
standalone.
Yeah. The second, like, I feel like the second one, I enjoyed it, but like just coming off the heels of Chadwick's death and like how the story had to be reworked. And I was always a person to think that they should have recasted it, not to disrespect him, but the character shouldn't have died. You know, like
yes,
I understand.
Well, that's the point, Matt. Yeah, and Marcus. Yeah. Like they had to still make the movie. The contract was there, etc. You know what I mean? It was money over like moral almost. Like
So like I would think that I would put this above it. Yeah.
And to address your reshoot, the reshoot thing, like when Cap first came out, you know, they had people check it out before they put it out.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial review wasn't good. So they did go back and reshoot a ton of stuff and came back with what you got. So from what I've heard, it's been like 50-50. But you know me, people have ruined the movie theater experience for me. So I'm just going to wait for this to hit Disney Plus. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. But, you know, those of you who want to check it out, feel free to hit the movies up. Marcus gives it a 4 out of 5 blunts. You know, I'm pretty sure Matthew is great in it, just like he was in Twisted Metal. That's coming back soon too.
Speaking of that, they in the theater they had a trailer for Twisted Metal season 2.
You damn Skippy!
It said summer of 2025. I looked at my girl and was like, "Ooh, I can't wait to hate watch this show. Like I'm gonna watch it with hate in my heart."
And you know what? You're gonna start off with hate in your heart, and you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
I ain't even gonna lie, bro. I'm glad you said it. That almost disqualifies me. Because I'm already going into it with a negative review. Well, so it's like nothing can be good.
It has the opportunity to redeem itself to you. Because you know how many great series can we look back and be like, you know, the first season really was kind of lame.
No, that's fair. That is fair.
You know what I mean? When you look at it as a whole product. But if it wasn't for the first season, you don't have the rest. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So
that's That's a great point. You know what I mean? Great shows. The first season is like, oh, this is bad.
It's terrible.
And then once it gets to the second, third, you're like, oh, this is fucking great. No, that's a great point.
But a lot of that has to do with just audience reaction. They see what storylines people get into, what you know,
and then they jump on.
Yeah, and then that's the shit that they run with. What characters they like, what type of comedy or drama they like, depending on the genre, etc.
To wrap things up, what I did enjoy seeing the preview for was fucking Daredevil. I can't fucking wait. That looks fucking great.
I think that's like 2 weeks. I think it's like March 5th, I think. The season starts.
Amen.
They Fantastic Four 10 episodes?
I thought it was supposed to be 18.
Yeah.
18?
It's supposed to be 18.
I don't know.
But that's what we were told. It was supposed to be. What's that?
I don't know if they're like an hour long or if they're half-hour shows. I didn't see like the run times. But they said that it's going to be more violent and more brutal than the Netflix version. And I was like, well, damn.
It should be. Because the first 3 seasons of Daredevil, with all the Marvel shows that they've come out with, like Daredevil and Punisher stand alone. You know, the other shows, you know, Jessica Jones, okay. Iron Fist could have been better.
Yes.
Luke Cage was great. I love Luke Cage.
I liked Iron Fist, like you said. It could have been way better. Like the fight choreography.
Yeah. You know, we don't want to dive into that, but you can't beat a kung fu master, and Daredevil looks better in his fight scenes than you do.
So Daredevil's going to be on Disney?
Yeah. And with Punisher being on Disney, they didn't edit Punisher.
No.
So we're going to get the violence.
And you know, oh boy, Bernthal is coming back as a Punisher too.
He should. Yeah. He's fucking great.
Well, he owns that role right now. Like, he's good.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. Check it out. But hey, I want to thank the guys that were chiming in today. We love you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share. Make sure if you are listening to remember to hit that like button. We need that. Yeah, signing off. I'm Al, joined by Marcus and Rick. We appreciate y'all. Peace.